I got a question from a viewer today, Zan, who's picked up on something from your book that
Okay.
certainly raises some questions at first look. And the phrase that you've written, and I'll pick it out here so I can read it properly. You've written, "Love is symmetrical. The ones you love are the ones that love you." So I think this is important to dive into because a lot of men's experience of love, and certainly mine for a lot of years, was that it was definitely not symmetrical. And any man who finds themselves in the friend zone right now is experiencing a very asymmetrical, one-sided, I love the girl, but she doesn't feel the same way about me.
Right.
And then there's also the concept of, 100 million young guys around the world dreaming starry-eyed at night about their favorite celebrity. But their favorite celebrity is probably not dreaming of the 100 million young guys around the world alone at night dreaming of them at the same time. So that certainly feels like a massive asymmetry when you think about, the who are the pinup models and the celebrities of our age and so on. So how do you begin to explain this, that love is that you believe love is symmetrical when many people's experience of it is not such?
Well, what I tried to describe there, that it occurred to me, because I may not be right ever, but I believe things I say. And so what occurs to me is that if we were to strip away all of the egoistic layers and which I suppose you can't, I think at the base, we're equally attracted to what we're attracted to. And the way I described it in the book, we have this cloud of neediness and insecurity that wraps around us. And we see things through that foggy filter. So every girl that we see approximates our dream girl because we're lonely, we're horny, whatever, right? And so we cast upon all our hopes and dreams on her, which is not fair to her. Someone we start dating, for instance, and when she's less than interested, which is asymmetrical, we think we feel that sense of loss, and I'm not going to get a girl like this again. We sink into that friend zone area sort of thing because we'd rather have some touch her skirt a little bit with her hand than lose her completely. And it's, which is very, very, very common. But if we were to strip that away, we would see that she's not the ideal girl for us. We would see that we would not be seeing her through this layer of rose-colored glasses. That's my assumption. There was times in my past, I remember I was dating this girl one time, and she was just magnificent to me. She was, quote unquote, out of my league. And I remember my brother and my family just didn't like her at all. They said they were telling me she's not a nice person. She's manipulating you. She's kind of judgmental of everybody else. And I just batted that all away. There's no way, man, this girl's perfect. And long story short, she broke up with me because of whatever. And I was heartbroken. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't whatever, because I thought, man, that girl was finally, the kind of girl of my dreams. And how can I lose that girl? I mean, everybody identifies with this. And I was really, really heartsick for months. And one day I was about to go out and meet a friend of mine, a buddy of mine, and I had my shirt on, and there's a knock at my door. And I opened the door, and it was this girl. I hadn't talked to her, heard from her in 3-4 months. And she's smiling away like this with red lipstick on and says, "I thought about it, and I want to start dating you again. So what are we going to do tonight?" I'm like, in that moment, because I was sick about her that day, I remember thinking, writing poetry and missing this girl. And the moment I saw her and she said that, everything drained off of me. And I'm like, I lost all interest in her in that moment that she showed up at the door. It's the strangest thing. Her image was bigger than her in my mind, I guess. And I just sent her on her way. And it was asymmetrical, but I was trying to get her to notice me and to attach to me as much as I was attached to her. So I think if we stripped all the way that neediness and that strong sense that we're going to lose, and I want to have a girl like this in my arms for pride. We strip that all the way. We would for certain. I mean, there's guys that have, fancy cars and boats and a lot of money, and certain women are attracted to that, who don't really care about the guy on a personal level. Maybe they do a little bit. I shouldn't say that, but they're really attracted to the flashy things, and the guy's assuming, they're hoping that it's him. And so when if you strip that away, that hope and that assumption and that you would realize pretty quickly that she's not what you thought in your mind. So we have this, women and men have this blown up in their mind. And so what my idea was that if we stripped away all of this and we look clearly into the crowd, we would only be attracted to the ones who will magnify our presence, who will inspire us and be really, really aligned with our spirit. That's kind of my idea, which is maybe not possible.